This is Never Gallimore from the Dallas Cowboys, and I want to give a major shout out to Mike Tag. Keep bringing the hype to the Cowboys Nation. We love and appreciate it. Now, can you dig it? Let's get it.
What's up, Cowboy Nation?
What is up? It's your boy Mike Tag with Jimmy D. Jimmy D, make sure I can hear you.
How we doing? What's going on? Can you hear me?
We got it. I guess it's been a little bit, Kelly's on vacation, so people thought I was on vacation, and now we're all messed up. I even got my name. I got to fix the name here, but we are getting things working, so hopefully we'll get this thing right. Let's see.
Hey, I got news for you. While you're fixing that, I'm having a lot better Monday than last Monday. Let me tell you something. When your kid gets into his first car accident, it's scary.
Oh, man.
Everything was fine. I mean, the car got pretty banged up. It's not drivable. Of course, it's my car, not my wife's car, who got banged up. That's the one in the shop. So, but no, everybody was okay. Nobody was hurt. And the best part is 100% not our fault. So it's not affecting our insurance.
Well, that's the most important thing.
Exactly.
You didn't want to have any neck injuries, back injuries, and you got people hanging out of the car. But no, it's definitely we missed you. We missed you. But I gotta thank the fine people. We had a fun time. My son, I had to pull him off the bench, had to, get him off the IR, and he came over and I thought he did a good job. We talked a little Miami Heat. He's a big Heat fan, so that made it a lot of fun. And then of course we got into some Cowboys stuff, but talking about, the Heat. I mean, a lot of people, they left them for dead, and this is the team that just finds a way to keep fighting back when people think they can't do it. They didn't look good in game one, and come back in game two, and I'm hearing they're going to get swept. There's no chance. They got nothing, happening. And it was a great basketball game. Both teams played good, I thought. And Miami pulls away with the big road win, and I don't think Denver has lost on the road all playoffs, or at least been a while.
No, Denver. No, they've had Denver hasn't lost. That was their first home loss last night.
Yeah.
Remember the Heat came out hot, then it swung the other way. Halftime, the Heat kept it manageable.
Yeah.
But what I'm still scratching my head at is how the Denver coach doesn't call a timeout on that last play of the game. And just draw up a play instead of just relying on Murray and Jokic to do their thing. I mean, that was stupid.
They were talking about it. I'm not complaining. Let's just be honest.
Oh, no. As a Heat fan, I wouldn't be complaining at all. I mean, but think about it like this. What the Heat did really well yesterday, because Jokic had another triple-double game one. Last night, he only had 4 assists, so they weren't letting him – he got his points. He got 40 points or 41, but he wasn't a playmaker. The Heat made it where he was not a playmaker last night. He was scoring, right?
No, and Bam was playing. Bam. He played really good, and Butler's been quiet.
Yes,
getting a sneaky point, but he's been quiet. He had some big threes, and then I don't know all the names. Who's the one dude he was laying down some threes right there?
He scored 8 points in a row. The guy from the Heat, he 8-0 run on him.
Yeah. So it was definitely good. Yeah, it's a fun series. Like I told a lot of people, the only thing that upsets me is my man Mark. We had a little wager on the hat. That's why I was going to wear my Heat shirt, but I don't have a Heat hat. So I couldn't wear my Heat hat because he ordered it, paying his debt. He lost the bet to me. But it's not going to be here until like the 16th or 18th. So the series is going to be over by then. I'm not even going to be able to enjoy it. I got to wait a whole off season.
Well, at least you're finally going to get your dues, right? But now's the time to get your Duncan Robinson. That's who it was. Yeah.
Yes,
now the question is with the Heat, you have Tyler Herro might come off of the injury.
Yeah, Herro. Yeah.
So the question is, what do you do? I mean, he's probably the best 6th player in the game, right?
No, you got to play him, man. Don't you? You got to play him. They have a long break though. You're talking like they don't play till Wednesday.
They have Wednesday.
They got today and tomorrow. They got 2 days off. Hopefully. I don't know. I'd have to get him in the game because they need to score, and they're not gonna bang with these guys. They need some shooters, especially outside. You can never have enough of them for the Heat. So I would play them. And the thing that I wanted to ask you, and I've been really in the chat. So is it Jokic? Am I
Yeah,
pronouncing it? Yeah.
Nikola Jokic. Yeah.
Um, they said he's like a top 10 center all time. And I just wonder, like, he's amazing. He's like a point guard, like his
He
dribbling,
is.
his pass, and everything. How would he match up against a Ewing, a Shaq? The more physical kind of centers of the earlier days. Would he be considered maybe a power forward with his style in the earlier game, or would he give them a lot of fits?
No, well, that's the thing though, because he can shoot from the outside. He can move. That's the difference.
Threes, man.
Patrick Ewing, I love him to death, but he wasn't going outside. He had, a couple big 3-pointers in his life, but he wasn't. He was in the paint all the time doing the little jump hook that he always did. So I just don't see any way they'd be able to. You can't have your center going out to the 3-point line covering anybody. It just doesn't work like that, right?
Yeah. So I mean, would you say he's top 10 center all time? You would have
No, not yet. I mean,
no, not
I
yet.
don't think yet. No. The best is, you ever see the pictures of him like when he was like younger little kid that they post online when
No.
they beat up on LeBron when they beat the Lakers in Game 7? They posted a picture of Jokic when he was like a little kid and he had like 20 fat rolls on him. He's sitting there, drinking a Coke, and he's like, LeBron, this is who just beat you, right? So yeah,
Oh,
but I
man.
can't say I don't think that a guy who's I think maybe in time if he keeps up this sort of play, but not right now. No.
It's just different because at least I'm used to like the centers, like I said, the more physical bangers. Those big guys. The strong guy. They weren't as nimble. I mean, this guy, he's slow, but I mean, just his dribbling and being able to shoot from outside. And this, you always wonder. You say you can't compare generations. You wonder how he would match up against them, and if they could match up against him. Like you said, being on the outside.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? He's big and he's tall, but he's not clumsy. You know what I mean? The guy's just so, and then people forget, they talk about him, Jamal Murray, Vive le Canada, Jamal
Yeah.
Murray. I mean, he threw up 34 game one. He played great last night too.
Yeah.
Butler so far not really a factor. Bam had played well both games, but it was the bench. It was the Miami bench yesterday that won that game.
Is it a matchup with Butler that's making him not be as dominant, or
I don't know, man, because every matchup that's happened throughout the playoffs, he's been playing great. So I don't know. Maybe somebody else has got a better idea than me, but I can't figure
because
it
he's
out.
been quiet. I mean, he's been quiet. I've been waiting for him to explode. But now they go back to the 305. Now you're going back to Miami. So what is the what do you think how that's going to play out? You think it's going to be? You think Miami could take 2, or you think they're gonna lose 2 or split? What's your thoughts with going back to Miami?
I think that, and remember, I screwed this prediction up last year. I really think Denver's going to win in 6. Now, for the South Florida fans and family and friends I got down there, look, I'm hoping that the Heat and the Panthers both win. Like, that's what I'm rooting for. But it's kind of tough, man. I mean, I think it's Denver in 6.
Yeah.
For my friends and family, I hope I'm wrong.
Well, I was told, yeah, I mean, he could be spent. I mean, spent a lot
Yeah.
of spent a lot of energy in that playoffs. He's played hard. I mean, you look at it. I mean, you got to say with this team, all the undrafted guys, 8th seed. I mean, this is just. I mean, it's one of those Cinderella stories that you hear about of just they talk about Heat culture, and you just see the way these guys play for each other, the unselfish ball that they have. I mean, everyone. Kevin Love, great move, right? By Spoelstra,
Yes.
making that change to get Love in there. So
Yeah.
it's just a lot of unselfish basketball being played by this team. You kind of want, I'd love nothing more than to see the Heat win the championship. So I'm holding out hope in 7, but I don't know. It better be 6, right? Because that would be a home game for the Heat.
Yes.
I don't think He's going to win in 7 in Denver. So Heat would almost have to win at home these 2 games. Maybe they give up the one in Denver, come back to Miami, and they'd have to finish them off there. So that's a tall task. I mean, this Denver team, as good as Miami started, I mean, and they were rolling. Denver came back, and then they were killing them. Then Miami came. It was just such a good game. It's been a great playoff run for everyone.
To Kurz's point, Jimmy Butler could be spent. I mean, the dude has ended up on the the floor multiple times because he's been driving the lane. He's been getting beat up, and that's not, that's the NBA of the 90s.
Yeah.
They don't have that anymore. So he might just be spent. And
Yeah.
hey, again, if you're winning with your bench, great. Tyler Hero's coming back game 3. That's a huge boost. The question is, how does him coming back and not having played for basically 5 weeks or 4 or 5 weeks, how does that play out?
No, I mean, that's the thing you got to look at. And I'm glad Claudio's with me with Heat and 6. But yeah, I mean, but if you got a guy of that ability and that can be that good, the upside, right? The ceiling that you'd want, you got to put him out there.
Yeah, no, you do. And I guess we'll see what happens. I mean, that's all predictions are saying he's going to play game 3. And, again, I think it's that the Heat are going to, and like you said, your point, I think the Heat losing 6. However, they have to be in a spot where they win at home. I think if you go back to Denver for game 7, look, man, they were 9-0. They're 9-1 at home, Denver, in the playoffs. So you know what you do? Whatever they did last night to play Jokic and not letting him be that playmaker, that's what worked out last night.
No, absolutely. They just got to keep going. More importantly, like my man Steven said, hit that like, share, subscribe. I want to thank everyone, man. Last week, the 2 shows that we did, I mean, these are dog days. I know Jimmy don't want to hear about it, but these are dog days for Cowboys fans. I'm a primarily Cowboys fan. That's what I love talking about. I love talking about sports, but these are the tough days for me. But for us to have our Monday show with the turnout that we had and the uptick in subscribers and views, and then obviously Thursday with Kelly before we went on vacation, we had a fun time there, and definitely seeing the views spike up, the subscribers and all that. So it's a big thanks to you guys because we can't do these shows without people watching.
Exactly. No,
got to be able to do that. So make sure you guys continue, spread the love, spread the word, hit that like, share, subscribe. I reached out to another Eagle because I'm trying to get some Eagle hate. And so I reached out to a former Eagle, and I'm waiting to see if they'd respond. But so far, they don't respond. I've only had one, and that was Ian Beckles, and he was a home run. So hopefully we can get another one.
So there you go. Ultra Cowboy thinks differently. Basically, the Heat didn't win, but the Nuggets lost that game.
Oh, they lost the game.
There was the questionable out of bounds.
Yeah, you got Ultra's a negative person by nature, so it's always. I mean, he can't help himself.
Yeah, but you know what? I forgot to bring off that out of bounds. May have been a bad call, but you can't blame a game on a call. I mean, it is what it is because that could have happened in the second quarter, and you're not going to sit there and say, "Oh, in the second quarter," So, but. And Troy had asked, "Hey, Fred, how's it going?" Troy had asked, "Who do I got in the Stanley Cup?"
We're going to get to that.
We'll get to that. Okay.
But again, we get a public service. My man, I didn't get to wear the hat today because I was going old school. I got the Tony Ritter sets. I had to wear the old hat. But Cuts by Jones. Make sure you guys check out his stuff. He's our new unofficial sponsor of the show, first unofficial sponsor of the show. And we've got some giveaways that he's going to do. He does some badass cuts. You see the one above me. We've always talked about it. So make sure you guys give him a follow on social media, on Twitter and all that stuff. Check out his stuff. Does phenomenal work. So make sure you do that. Now, always, let's see. Let's run through these chats real quick. Always, I would die hard. Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna get this thing going. Believe me, I got a lot to talk about with the Cowboys when the season starts. I'm seeing all this stuff just building up. So we're gonna make it happen. But Jimmy, this is your time. I don't want to take away from your thunder. So we got the Stanley Cup, and this I'm gonna leave to you because I don't know much about it except we got another Florida team in the finals. So what's
I'm telling you, this one in the 9-5-4, but it's all South Florida representing, right? So you know what? Aiden. So this guy, this goalie for Vegas, Aiden Hill. If there's anybody, you look at those guys and you say, "Damn, look at the path they took to get to the top, to the pros." And this guy, if you look at where he was and where he's been, it's amazing that he's even in the NHL right now. That guy put on a show the other night. Game was 5-2. That doesn't really reflect the game itself. It was closer than that. It was an empty net goal. But what I think is, I think it's going to be Panthers. Originally, I thought 6. I'm thinking 7 now. Matt Tkachuk, who I told you guys weeks ago, is the MVP of the entire sports world right now, right? Now, he didn't play that great the other night, but he did what he had to do, just what he did to Boston at the end of the game when they were losing, when the Panthers were losing. He started getting physical, picking some fights. He got kicked out of the game at the end, and that's just what you got to do. You got to set the tempo for the next game. I mean, at the end of the day, the Panthers got their shots off. They did what they had to do. Troy says Florida in 6. That's what I thought originally, but I'm kind of thinking 7. That might go back to Vegas for Game 7. But I mean, Vegas
You
is
get the overreaction, like sometimes in basketball and even in NFL, you get that overreaction where it's one game and all of a sudden the world changes. Like everyone had Miami buried, and then Miami wins. Now all of a sudden, well, Miami's going to win the series. You know what I mean? Do you get that in NHL where Vegas won 5-2, where it's like, all right, well, Vegas is going to win the series. Panthers are in trouble. Or do you just take it one game, it's 1-0, go to the next one and see what happens?
Well, I'm really shocked that, first of all, that Vegas beat Dallas. To me, that was a shocker in and of itself, right? But anyway, I mean, remember the Panthers had a lot of time off in between their win and start of the Stanley Cup. I don't think it's an overreaction. I just think that Vegas is a little bit stronger than I thought. Even after beating Dallas, was a hell of a team, which was still shocked me. I'm thinking more like 7. I know Ultra said you get and Ultra's right. I mean, you get a hot goalie just like the Devils did against us, right?
Yeah.
So they put in an unproven backup, a rookie, and he beat us, right? We didn't lose to the Devils. That goalie beat us so much. I don't remember the kid's name, right? Then he got smoked by Carolina, which I was okay with. But you get a hot goalie and you never know. So for the Panthers' sake, I'm hoping this Aiden Hill cools off a little bit.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people looks like they still like Florida. I don't know, Doug. Well, Doug's a Carolina fan, so I don't know if he wants Florida to lose.
Yes.
Do you want that team to lose in the next round, or are you one of those where you got to root for the conference? Because I usually, like, I don't know about you, Jimmy. I usually will root for the conference unless it's a team in my division that's in the finals. If it's a team in my division of finals, I hope they lose because I don't hear their fans' mouths all year. So, but if it's like when Tampa was in the Super Bowl against Kansas City, right? If my memory's right. I was hoping Tampa Bay would win.
What it is. To me, it's so for instance, I'm rooting for the Panthers. Why? I live down there, right? Got family and friends who like the Panthers. In fairness, that's who I'm rooting for because the Rangers are out. So with me, that's the way it works. Let's say the Falcons are out, which I told you people next year they're going to be 9-8. We're taking our division. We're going to the playoffs. That being said, if they're out, I'm going to root for the Dolphins, right? So that's just the way it works. The problem with the Knicks and the Heat is all those battles we had back in the day, and even last series, I still got a lot of animosity, with the Heat. That's my problem with Miami. But I hope they win for my friends and family. So to me, it's not necessarily the division. Sometimes it comes down to saying, hey, we lost to the team that took the hardware home.
Yeah,
right?
It makes you feel a little better. It makes you feel a little better. Like when Dallas loses to San Francisco wins the Super Bowl, you say, we lost to the Super Bowl champ. So it's maybe that's a better pill to swallow, I guess. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. It's just it really depends. I don't dislike the Giants fans as much as, and I don't dislike the Eagle fans. It's just, like Ian Beckles. I mean, he said that they're all batshit crazy, for lack of a better word, and he played for the Eagles. So, I mean, they understand a lot of their fans and the way they are, and I see a lot of it on social media where it's just their whole life revolves around Dallas and around just measuring up and wanting the acceptance. It's like a little brother that just wants his big brother to just say, hey man, you're good now, man. You joined the club. Right. And because they don't get that, and I don't know why. I mean, I've never said nothing bad. It's like I've gotten not an argument, but a disagreement with a guy because I said for me, I would take Brandon Cooks right now over Devontae Smith. That's me. I mean, if you're going to give me 2023 and you're going to line them up, I will take. I'll take Brandon Cooks over Devontae Smith. That's not a knock on him. That's not a saying that he sucks or anything. It's just my opinion. And the guy wrote a storybook, and he was offended by it. And it's like, it's my opinion, man. I'd say, you may think Drake London's better than CeeDee Lamb. Maybe you do. Yeah. I don't know. You'd be crazy. But maybe you do.
No, I don't know. It's stats. Hey, whoa! Speaking of the Cowboys, let's bring up the Cowboys. I know that this is going to be people are going to be pissed at me, maybe going off on me right now. One of your wide receivers got arrested this past weekend. What was that all
Now,
about?
let's just be honest. This is a part that aggravates me. We're talking about a dude who ain't even going to make the team. We're talking about a guy that's just there as a body. And he got arrested. Now, I don't know if this is true because my son told me he saw this on Twitter. He had a warrant out for his arrest on some parking violations or maybe some driving violations where his driver's license, I guess, was suspended. He wasn't driving the car, but he was a passenger. And I guess when they ran his information, there was a warrant out for some, unpaid fines. So they went ahead and, and he got arrested. So stupid, but he got cut, but he wasn't going to be on the team. He wasn't going to be on the team anyway. But of course, he had a cup of coffee with the Cowboys, but he mainly played with the Browns. If my memory is right, I remember he got drafted by the Browns. And that's all they said.
I think it was Mopri.
Was it Mopri? Maybe it was. But, so of course they always tie everything back to the Cowboys because that helps with the clicks. But, it was a stupid story.
Was it Antonio Callaway? I heard he was going to be your number 3 receiver. That's what I heard. That's what I read everywhere. And you lost your number 3 receiver because of some parking violations.
Oh man, yeah. So yeah, I don't know about Callaway, but the bigger thing, really, Jimmy, is how stupid are some of these guys? I mean,
it's ridiculous.
Let's just start. Even if he's on an NFL roster, so he's getting paid. He's getting paid more than you and I probably, right?
Yes,
probably. I mean, have some sense to say, you know what, I got $100, parking violation. Why don't I go ahead and pay that? I mean, why don't I just go ahead and pay that just to avoid any problems? Because now you get cut. Maybe another team picks him up. I don't know. He played at Florida, if my memory's right, University of Florida. He was part of, them troublemakers down there. So it's just another, just not very smart. But sometimes these guys, man, it just blows my mind that you have all these opportunities and you just do childish things. But they're, he's not a kid. He's probably in his mid to late 20s.
Old enough to know better.
They're kids, what are you going to do?
I mean, it's like we talked about with Morant from Memphis. I mean, that guy just doesn't stop. I mean, how do you make it to that level? And Morant's one of the best players in the NBA. And look what he's doing. I mean, between all the stupid stuff he's put on social media and, rolling with his crew with guns to the mall because, some probably 20-year-old clerk disrespected his mom or something. Just stupid, I heard this guy got pulled over, Antonio, whatever his name. It was like on Liar Liar when I got to pay parking tickets. He opens his glove box, there's 25 of them pop out.
Oh, I know. But I was looking because they, not to change the subject, but I was, this is slow time in the NFL, so you just kind of grasping things to talk about. And they had the 10 most improved rosters, teams to watch in 2023. And I want to just say, hey, Jimmy, your Atlanta Falcons made that top 10 list. And so, I mean, are you drinking the Falcon Kool-Aid, or are you going to be like Ultra and just play the odds that your team's not going to make it to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl? Because you got a 1 in 32 chance of winning the Super Bowl. So if you say you're not, more than likely you're going to be right. So do you take that approach, or do you think this team can, hey, things can happen in right? It's just like someone had a bold prediction, and they had the number 1 seed coming out of the NFC South, which they said would be New Orleans. And I said the schedules are easier. The schedules are easier for the South if you look at who they're playing. And I think the team in the South, if a team got hot, they could sneak away and get a really good seed in the playoffs because of their schedule.
No, you know what it is? I got to say, you guys see me laughing sometimes. There's certain comments in the comment section we can't put up on the show that just make me laugh. So I'm sorry. I wasn't laughing at you, Mike. No, I am. I mean, we beefed up on defense, right? First of all, we stole like 4 guys from the Saints, right? No, that's the thing. The question is quarterback. But I think, first of all, we always said, if you go into the season thinking we're going to have a losing season, we're going to suck, kind of like Ultra is sometimes, we're a little pessimistic, then why bother watching, right?
Oh, I know.
With me, I have no doubt we're winning at least 9 games. Like I said, we beefed up the defense. We picked up Bijan Robinson, who now we got, like I said, right now, Patterson is going to be, guy moving all around. He's going to be like a utility guy, if you will.
And it looks like Pitts is going to be back in time.
Pitts will be back. Yeah, man.
Oh, that's it.
London.
I mean, if Robinson is what everyone hyped him up to be coming out of college, and you're talking about, you got Patterson, and then you got Pitts. London. I mean, I was kidding, but I mean, London. He's a baller. I mean, they've got weapons on that offense. They've got weapons on that offense.
No, we do. And the question is, does Desmond Ritter open up this season like he finished last season, right? And then you look on defense, Calais Campbell we picked up, and Onamada and Katie Nell. I mean, we picked up a lot of guys, man.
Yeah.
So I'm going in feeling good. Just the question is Ritter, and I hope that he comes in now. In the OTAs, everybody was panicking because he was, he wasn't on target all the time and all that. I don't worry about that. Let's wait until preseason, right?
Yeah.
That's what I care about.
What happens, but it's going to be it's going to be interesting because, like I said, that division. I mean, I would say New Orleans is probably the favorite just because of their quarterback. I mean, they got Carr, so he's probably the best quarterback in that division, I would say. But
yeah,
I mean, you just don't know. I mean, if Ritter takes this big leap, and like I said, when you got weapons and he manages the game, he doesn't turn it over. You saw what happened with Purdy. I mean, Purdy he didn't light the world on fire, but he didn't make mistakes.
Right, and that's
used his weapons, used the running game, used everything around him, and managed the game. Now they don't have the defense that San Francisco has. That's probably going to be a problem for him. But for a quarterback, I mean, and the way the league is, you can't really touch nobody. So as long as the offensive line can give you a little bit of time, he should be able to move things around a little bit.
Well, you know what? You look at our situation. We signed Taylor Henke from who's on the Redskins, who he plays. But he's a similar. He plays quarterback a similar style, right? Now you're talking about Derek Carr. I don't know if you heard this. They were bringing in Gruden to be like some sort of consultant for him.
Well, he had him, right? Gruden was with him in Vegas or whatever.
Vegas.
So and he had good years with him.
And speaking of Purdy, I know I'm jumping around here a little bit. Like I said, I look at, man, I'm sold on that guy. But did you hear the other rumor that they're talking about Matt Ryan going out there to San Francisco?
Really?
Which I think would be a disaster.
I think he's washed up. I hate to say it.
Yeah, he's washed up. He's finished. He's through. Not the baddest in the world. And I kind of shook my head at that one. And I love Matty Ice, the best quarterback we've ever had, far and away. Got screwed out of a Super Bowl thanks to horrendous offensive calls by Kyle Shanahan in the second half of the game against the Patriots in Super Bowl 51. What are you going to do? And if I'm Matt Ryan, I don't want to go play for him anymore out in San Francisco.
No. Heineke didn't beat us last year. That was that's even worse. It was Howell. Wasn't it Sam Howell that beat us?
I thought Heineke was playing at the point in time they played.
I thought it was Howell. I'm almost positive. Someone help me out. There we go. Ultra. Yeah. Howell.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. It was the last game of the year. Heineke didn't he beat the Eagles? I think he beat the Eagles.
Did he?
Didn't the Eagles lose to Washington? See, this is what happens, man. When you start getting off season, man, it's just like you can't remember. Or they almost beat him. Maybe Heineke almost beat the Eagles. Maybe, I don't know. If someone help me out, but he stinks. That's
Falcon 00 asked if we count Brett Favre. You know what? I wish we could, man. What a train wreck that was. They were so sold. What's that? Eagles lost to Heineke.
Yeah, okay. They lost to him. Right. They lost to him.
Good.
So my memory isn't terrible. It's just it gets a little spotty sometimes. But yeah, I don't think if you're going to him. I don't know. I think maybe your season might be in trouble because I don't know. I think you got to have a quarterback that's got a lot of upside. He's going to have to really elevate. That quarterback's got to get to the next level to me for the Falcons to make any kind of, positive season, get in the playoffs. And like you say, you get in the playoffs, man, bad division or not. I mean, the Patriots, don't get me wrong. Patriots are a phenomenal team in this. They lived on a crap division. They lived on 6-0 and number 1 seed because they played the Dolphins, the Bills, or in the Jets when they sucked. All those teams before they got good. So you don't make no apologies. They get to the playoffs. They only had to win 2 games most of the time to get in there. So it's it is what it is. I think they got a shot, but I just who are the pass rushers for the Falcons? They got Campbell. They signed
Michael Walker. We got we got Grady Jarrett, of course. Katie Nellis. What's that?
Booker Boom and Tesser.
Book of Boom and Tester. Yes, exactly.
Now
Oh
people are
God.
watching. They don't know what we're talking about, but it's an inside joke.
Yeah. No, but anyway, so we got some guys. I mean, that's the thing. We beefed up our defensive line, man.
No,
So
they've got. So here's the question then. So take the Falcons aside. Who is the team let's just stick in the NFC because that's both of our divisions, so we could talk a little bit more knowledgeable about it. Who's the team that would worry you? Did make the playoffs last year that would scare you this year?
hmm, tough call, man. That's a good question.
You go.
But the problem is what we talked about with Uncle Cheech 2 weeks ago. You don't know until you're like 2 or 3 games in who's going to do what.
Well,
You
let's
know,
talk
it's,
about it. You got the Bears with
I'm not
Fields.
worried about.
You're not worried
Okay,
about that. The Lions. The Lions.
you know what? Lions. If I had maybe a team, the Lions. Yeah, and we actually play them this season.
The
So
Saints.
I'm not
They
worried about
still
the
got
Saints.
some weapons on offense.
I'm not worried about the
They
Saints.
always put a good defense in there.
And Steve is pretty sold on the Saints as well.
Yeah.
No, I think if I had to say anybody, it'd be Detroit. But again, you never know what you're going to get until you're 2-3 games in,
Yeah.
and so it's a tough call, man.
You're gonna
You
get
know?
you're gonna get teams that make the playoffs and go out. So who's not gonna make the playoffs? Who was in the playoffs last year that you say they're not gonna be in it this year? Let's see, I'll throw names of Seattle, the Giants.
Giants.
Giants would be one for you. You think
Yeah,
they're
I don't think the
cheap?
Giants. Yeah,
Seattle. You had the
yeah, because Seattle. Yeah, Geno Smith. He had a
Minnesota,
yeah.
Minnesota, the
Well,
Bucks.
Minnesota. The Bucks aren't going to be in the playoffs. I don't
Yeah.
know, but Minnesota again. They were a team that was just up and down, and you never knew what you were going to get from week to week. Geno Smith in Seattle. I mean, he played well, and then they kind of ease their way into the playoffs, and I don't
Yeah.
see that happening again this season, right?
Camo Piper says the Cowboys. Of course.
Camo Piper, our favorite 49ers fan is in the house.
Oh, he don't want. The crappy part is I want to say something, but I really can't because he's a 49er. I wanted to say, yeah, you don't want to see us, but they probably do. So I can't say anything.
You know what?
That's
Take a
a-
valid point.
That's the bad part is you get these. The Eagles. I can always say, well, we dropped 40 on you. The 49ers. There's been no success. There's been nothing that I can say. All right, we got him, but we play him on my birthday. On my birthday, Jimmy. You understand that?
Yeah,
We play
yeah.
on my birthday. So hopefully we'll get that monkey off our back and I'll be able to tell Camel Piper how I feel. But right now I got to keep my mouth shut. But the Eagles will be back. The Cowboys will be back. The Niners will be back. I think
Well-
Minnesota gets back because of the division they're in. But you talk about the Bears and the Lions. Maybe things get a little tricky for them there. So maybe Minnesota's not a gimme. They're probably losing Cooks, but they got Jefferson. I mean, they still got some guys there. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, man.
No, Steve, that's what you're saying. Teams that made the playoffs that won't make it this upcoming season. That was our second topic.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's gonna be your birthday.
I know.
Happy birthday. Jeez. Lions are going. Yeah. You know what? And I think without foresight, without seeing a few games, if I had to say anybody, it would be Detroit. Yeah.
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 Well, and like I said, with them in Minnesota and Chicago, Green Bay's probably going to be, in the gutter. But that division could look a little similar to the way NFC East does. Because I will say to your point, I'm not sold on the Giants. I think that was a Cinderella story. I think they had lightning in a bottle. They had a nice, little story. They made the playoffs. They won a playoff game. I don't think they're that good. I don't believe in Daniel Jones. Maybe I'll be proven wrong, but we'll see what happens. But I still think out of the East, it's going to be Dallas and Philly coming out of the East. And I
Well,
think
it's Doug mentioned about the Niners not having a quarterback. I'd like to hear what Camel Piper has to say about that.
Well, the
Niners not
thing
having a
is I
quarterback.
don't think they have a quarterback. I'm gonna back Doug on that. I think Purdy was lightning in a bottle too. I don't think he'll be that good, but he's hurt. So he's
hurt.
going to be gone for, he's not going to start the season. You're going to have Trey Lance there. I mean, we've all seen Trey Lance. If Camo Piper says that Trey Lance is, he's got all the faith in the world in him, that's crazy. Now, maybe he's got some in Darnold. Maybe Sam Darnold will be the quarterback. I don't know. But the thing I'll give is the coach is, what's the hell's his name? Denver Broncos, the head coach, your old coordinator. I'm having a brain.
Oh, Kyle Shanahan,
Shanahan.
49ers. Yeah.
I mean, he does good with his quarterbacks, does good with his offense. So I'm sure they'll be okay. I don't think they're going to be, trash, but I think quarterback is going to hold them back.
No, again, I see, and that's where we disagree. I think Brock Purdy's a real deal. It's again, he's not going to start game one. He's not going to be there, ready for that. But I believe in that dude, man. I wish I had him on my team.
You believe in Purdy?
Yes, I do.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, hey, look, you believe him better than Dak? Do you believe Purdy's better than Dak?
You can't say it's
Come
one
on,
season.
hurry
It's
up,
one.
man. Do it.
It's one season.
I'm telling you what, Malik Rozier, I challenged the man, former Miami Hurricane. He came out and said that I challenged him to a steak dinner at Ocean's Prime in Tampa, one of the finest steakhouses, in the country and probably in the world. And like a coward, he didn't accept the challenge. So you guys can all say it, but I need things to back it up. If you're gonna sit there and say Purdy is better than Dak, there ain't no way in hell. We'll be fine. Lance has been working with Lance is that shit. I'll go work with Mahomes. Ain't gonna make much of a difference in me. So that ain't gonna happen.
See, now I agree with Doug that Purdy hasn't played enough games yet.
Yes.
So I can't say that. And I don't know, was it Ultra Cowboy? 49ers have no quarterback, just like the Cowboys. So he's saying neither one's good.
He's always gonna be. I mean, that just goes without saying.
Troy Purdy is washed up.
He is washed up.
After 3/4 of his season, he's washed up.
He is how you say it has been.
Yes. Oh gosh. You know what?
I think it leads to the point of in the NFC, the quarterbacks. I mean, all the top quarterbacks are in the AFC.
Well, you know what? You were talking. I want to take a step back to the Giants, and I agree with you on that. Daniel Jones gets that big money. Saquon Barkley is not a happy camper. I mean, that's what you saw in the news up here, and so I think you're right. I don't think the Giants make the playoffs this year because I think there's going to be some turmoil because Barkley's just not happy.
Yeah, and I mean, and he's still, he's their offense as much as people don't like some the running game, this and that, but I mean they're going to go as he goes. If he's hurt, they're in trouble. If he's can put a year like he did last year, then maybe they got a shot. I mean, you get that 7, right? You got that extra team in the playoffs, so sometimes you get some scrub team in there that probably didn't deserve it. But I just don't see them going. I think the North is going to be, that's where you can end up seeing 2 to 3 teams come out of that division. With I know you don't like the Bears, and we got a friend who's going to be all happy that I say this, but I just think Fields, I just think he's got a lot of talent, and he carried that team, and he did some really good things with no weapons around him. They got him a few things. So I'm curious to see how he elevates his game because he could throw the ball, man. I watched him at Ohio State, man. He could sling it. So he's not just a running quarterback who can't throw the ball.
That was a fun game. I saw Dallas whoop up on Chicago down at AT&T, and the best part was our friend who's a Bears fan. It was on social media, so it's okay. We were not going to name his name. Couldn't even keep his head up. He started falling asleep after his team started getting their asses kicked in the second half, and that was that.
I know. I don't know if you guys ever do that. So if you've been to AT&T, they have this thing that'll call. It's like the Miller Lite Cam fan or something like that. So when the game is over, the next day you can go in and you can find where you sit, and you can zoom in and actually there's just random pictures. There's random pictures of you, whatever, and it's usually like 4 or 5 pictures. So we go to the game, and it's just funny because like the random pictures. It's like I was 2 or 3 of the pictures is somebody stuffing their face with like a pretzel all loaded up in there, and then another one he's like passed out sleeping, and it was just like the worst possible time you can take pictures, and it just happens. So I saved them on my phone, of course. So every time we see each other, every now and then if I get bored, I look at it, laugh, or I'll send it to him or something.
Well, it was kind of like he reminded me of Captain Over in Airplane, right? Versus Eaton, right? Then all of a sudden he's drooling all over himself, passing out, falling asleep, farting all over the place. Like, come on, buddy. That was, I tell you, that was fun. I had a good time, man.
The thing is, when you go to those games, it's what I tell people, man. It's an event. I know I've said it a million times. It really is, though. It's a lot of everything building up to the game. the game is it's icing on the cake if you go. But that's where I'll give the Cowboys. I'll give Jones. I'll give him his due as an owner. They really make it a destination kind of game where you have a good time. Like I've gone to Miami to watch games. I've gone to Atlanta. We've been to some Atlanta
Yeah.
games. And it's nice and stuff, but you just don't have that event. Yeah, it's almost like a Super Bowl feel every game. There's stuff going on all over the place.
No, it is. And you know what? Kind of on a related note, obviously it's two different genres, but it was like when I went to the Vegas Nights at T-Mobile, it
Yeah.
was an experience. Nothing
Oh, I
like
heard it was. Yeah.
Oh, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was Vegas. It was Vegas inside of that arena. It was a show. It was a good time. There's knockers bouncing all over the joint with the cheerleaders walking around and skating and this and that. And you know what? AT&T, that's what it's like.
Yeah.
We get there early, they have, we saw Emmett Smith walk right by us, man. I was like, hey, wow,
Yeah.
and they have, the show on the little mini field in the Miller Lite area out there. And I was partaking in a lot of Miller Lite that day. That was fun. And no, it is an experience. And, Jerry knows how to do it right.
No, he does. He does. I mean, it's a great. Now they're putting more money in, but I see my season tickets. The price has gone up the last 2 years every single time. So they better slow that shit down because that's trying to price me out.
Hey, wait a minute, Ultra. Now wait a minute. No, we're 6.5 back, and we're playing pretty damn well. Because remember, I sat here 3 weeks ago and talked about we were 11.5 back. 2 weeks ago, I said we're 8.5 back. Now we're 6.5 back. So we're creeping up. We're doing all right. I'm a little worried now. Judge might be hurt because he left LA last night in a flip flop because his big toe was hurt.
Yeah.
I'm like, you got to be kidding me. The only guy on our pitching staff who started with an ERA under 3 is Garrett Cole. Nestor Cortez, he's out. His ERA is 5 anyway. So we're winning despite all sorts of injuries.
No, it's a lot. It's a long
Yeah.
season. But definitely. Before we jump back, just in the chat, EJ, we're gonna have a crew out for the Jets game. That's going to be a lot of fun. So I definitely, anyone's going to a Cowboy game, going to the Jets game, make sure you hit us all up. I mean, Tuck's going to be out there. Nix is going to be out there. Kelly's going to be out there. I'm going to be out there. We are going to have a crew out there. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Home opener, Aaron Rodgers. We got to get rid of him once and for all. He's been a thorn on our side for a number of years, ripping our hearts out. And so this could be the year. This could be the regular season of just, righting the wrongs, right? Yeah, we finished with Tom Brady, getting rid of that. Take care of Fred Cuts by Jones is going to be out there. We got a crew. But
so what are you going to? You're going to be 25 deep?
We're going to be 25 deep in lot 10. But and then playing San Francisco in the regular, that's going to give us an opportunity to kind of right that wrong and make sure we get that going. So the football season is coming. It's coming. So it's going to be a good time. But yeah, the Yankees, baseball, it's hard to really get into baseball till after the All-Star break because it's such a long season.
Well, you got to remember, being a Yankee fan, I mean, it's the Yankees and I live here and all that stuff. So, but it is with baseball. So I don't care. There's very few people who watch a game from opening pitch to the bottom of the ninth inning. It just doesn't happen. I know a few people have season tickets and they go to most of the games, which I find kind of tough to do. But with me, if it's a weekend, I'll put it on. If my kids don't have any of their own sporting events, put it on. I usually doze off in the third, fourth inning, wake up in the seventh inning, and catch the end. If it's at night, especially once basketball and hockey's over, I'll be watching the Yankees at night. But it is 162 is a long season.
Oh, man. It's a long way. It's a long way, but yeah. So no, definitely. If you guys are out there, we're always there. And I was looking at Kelly. I'm looking at Jones in there now. I don't know if you saw Jimmy, but Kelly went down. His little vacation. He was checking things out, and with some family in San Antonio, and he went over to Jones's house for. Now I don't know if you've seen Jones when it comes to grilling and barbecuing and all that. He just puts some phenomenal stuff. It always makes me hungry. It's probably why I'm getting so fat. But anyway, I'm going to work that off before the season. But anyway, so Kelly went down. And he's also got, I got the man cave. I got a Cowboys cave. But I don't. He's got the cave plus a bar in it. I mean, that's like a hangout. Like, yeah, we can hang out here a little bit, but if we're gonna go out and have some drinks, we're going out in the patio. I got a bar out there. We got Tags Harbor Bar and Grill. We can hang out there and cook out and stuff. But his place is just phenomenal. And I saw the videos. I'm a little jealous that I didn't. I probably was invited, but I couldn't get down there. But I definitely that is a place where we should make. I don't want to make Fred be the host, but maybe we make a destination time and the whole crew heads down to San Antonio and we hang out in his cave and have him grill out a little bit. That wouldn't be so
And
bad.
and it is fun. And Troy, I saw you said, yeah, we got the White Sox, the first part of this week, which we're going to steamroll them. They suck. Then we got the Red Sox this week, and the Red Sox suck anyway. So I'm hoping to take care of business against them and climb up in the standings. You know what? Having a bar, we have and obviously I'm not set up there. We have a bar in the house, and I have a bunch of my team stuff hanging up, and I got some Italian businessman stuff hanging up, if you will.
Yeah.
Stuff that Uncle Cheech would know about. And it's cool, like chilling out, watching the game in there, playing some cards and, whatever.
Yeah.
It is fun. But
No,
you got a great setup though, man.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Mine's multifunctional. So I'm in here, I drop the hype, then I go out there and hang out in the bar and have a cold one. And we had a good time yesterday hanging out in the pool and in the spa. Well, I wasn't really staying at the spa, but sometimes it's the pool. This is how it is in Florida. If the pool isn't like 90 degrees, it's too cold. Like no one wants to go in it. So we take the spa and we heat that up to like 90, 92, and then people go in there and you just hang out in there like you're in the pool.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, it's a Florida. We're privileged down here, beautiful weather and the heat, and you can't get in there. And if it's too cold.
Well, that's why my wife gets pissed because obviously you haven't spent a lot of time in South Florida. We got a pool in the back. And when I go in, man, if it's 75, that ain't going to do it for me. So I'll crank the heat on and, you can hear the gas, it's gas heater. You can hear the gas going through and, it's spinning like Clark Griswold when he turned his lights on and the electric box is spinning. So yeah, because I'll put that damn thing up 85, 90 degrees. And, the problem is up here, you might get a couple cool nights and goes out the window. Like
kill it. Yeah,
exactly.
Once we get the temperature, like we're right there. Like I was in it Saturday with no problem, but you're on the fringe. But in about another week or two, it's 90s and it's the pool. You can go in whenever you want. So it's just one of those things. But how did we get sidetracked on bars?
I got to ask, is Doug still in? Because something I discussed a couple months ago is finally, I shouldn't say finally. Unfortunately, it's happening. So tomorrow, Jimmy D gets anally violated.
Oh boy.
I got to go do my over 45 manly health duty and get the colonoscopy. So I had my last supper before we jumped on board here. I got to take the meds tomorrow. They're going to be shitting my pants all day long. Right. So I'm off for work tomorrow, but I'm going to be on the toilet all day.
Yeah.
So if anybody else has done this, please reassure me. Doug reassured me last time, but I am not looking forward to this shit, literally or figuratively.
Yeah, I haven't done that. Well, I'm not looking to do it.
Thanks, Double Star.
So, good luck with that. I'm not. I can't even comment on something like that because it's disgusting to me. So.
Well, look, it's just like Double Stars. He called me a smart man. I appreciate that. Ultra Ultra Cowboy, yes. See, Doug, that's the worst part. Game. I'm guessing game day isn't bad. All right, well, mine's at 5 o'clock tomorrow, so I got all day long to think about it. I got to take that motor oil stuff in the morning and think about it all day long. I can't even take a nap. Wisdom teeth. Damn, Troy, wisdom teeth?
You must be young because my son's getting his wisdom teeth, but I didn't get mine out to my early 20s. And it sucked. So that's not good. And mine were impacted, sideways. So it made it even worse.
No, Troy, hopefully you got the pill. No, I got the bottles I got to drink. One at 6 a.m, one at 8. So I should be, I should do a live cast from my bathroom about 9, 10 o'clock. But, Troy, to your point, actually last year, and we did a show, and this is when we weren't doing live yet. We were doing recordings. We had just started.
Mike you had that surgery.
So I had the damn wisdom teeth pulled out, and I come on, and I'm bleeding from my mouth, changing out this thing, and that's no fun, man. But I get the laughing gas because I'm afraid of needles. So, I'm all messed up, and I'm like, I guess I was singing and shit, in the dentist chair. But now they told me a couple weeks ago I might need to get the other 2 out. So I don't know. Whatever.
Well, the good thing is we got a young audience. I appreciate that. We got some guys in the 20s. That's good. But
I like yes.
they all got their wisdom teeth. We gotta figure it out. But more importantly, if Doug is still there, do I have my tickets to Carolina? Am I going to be sitting in the stadium or sitting outside the stadium? Or do I got to go? You can't even scalp for tickets anymore. I got to go waiting on the SeatGeek app. But I already told him I don't like. If I go, I was thinking about maybe just going solo and just as long as I can sit with some people I know. If not, then I'm going to have to find a friend to go to the Carolina game because I can't sit by myself. I don't like that.
So now we've turned this into the medical.
I've
turned it into medical show.
It's a medical.
You remember that crank call?
Oh yeah,
yeah. I think Jim needs the medical show. And that phone call, I used diarrhea as the prop. Remember? Anyway, and no, Troy, I agree with you, man. That pain, that tooth pain, that teeth pain is no joke. And get the laughing gas. You don't remember anything, and get a ride home, and you're good to go.
Yeah. Well, I just I don't know. But did you watch? So I was, before the final game. Not to change subjects again, but we're talking about medical and talking about stuff. So maybe this is like a somber conversation. But I watched that the China biography, the WWE thing on China.
Yeah, it's awful, isn't it?
That's just, it feels so bad. Like you look at, because he's talking about the drugs and what they did to her. And then the worst part is like, Mick Foley's, he's saying, I wish I would have reached out sooner. And that's kind of what some of those people get left with and hoping that it would have come back. But it was really sad to see the way that the WWE just kind of just tossed her aside and just, it was, and then no one kept in touch with her. Her life just spiraled out of control after that. Just sad story. I don't know why the drugs made me think of it, but I didn't know if you saw it. I know you're a wrestling guy, and we got a lot of people on here like wrestling. So if you didn't see it, it's really a good biography, but it was just kind of sad.
It's really sad. And you look at what they did with Brian Pillman. They had his wife on, his widow on the next day after he died, and they just, I don't know, man. Sometimes you shake your head at how they can react like that in such a cold manner. They knew what was going on. Yeah. Like you said, Foley knew what was going on. It's no different than Chris Benoit. Everybody knew what was going on.
Yeah.
And
those wrestling stories, though, they never have a happy ending. Well, not literally, but it's always a sad story. Because maybe I was thinking of. Did you watch the Hogan? Did you watch the Hogan on sex scandal?
Yeah, the one where I saw that. I was like, wow, man.
Because that was Bubba, in Tampa, Hogan lives here, so he would call Bubba's show, and that was true. Like you could literally, you could see Hogan's life spiraling out of control with the divorce his wife when they did the Hogan's Knows Best, and he would call up Bubba's show, and you could just see him kind of getting worse and worse, just through all the challenges that he was going with. Man, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
No, it is, and the best part was they were talking about he got a 10-inch crank and all that. I'm
like,
oh my god!
Did you hear they put him on it was Hulk Hogan and Terry Bollea. Hulk Hogan does, but that's a character. And then Terry Bollea was just
right. No, I love watching those shows.
It was funny. It was funny, man. But yeah, hey, I just saw with Doug, man. He says I got a ticket. So I want to make sure this show is on record. Someone marked the tape. My man Doug said that I'm going to be well taken care of. We got a tailgate party. So I am looking forward to heading to Carolina. I've never been to that stadium. So that'll be a stadium to deny. Yeah, Macho Man. That was another one.
You guys need to take care of your business in Carolina.
We better.
You know what?
Help
a brother out.
Yeah, we better. Yeah,
Ultra said, it's a business just like steroids in baseball. But yes, and the steroid era and all that, but nobody was dropping dead and they were kicking him by the wayside. And Macho Man, double star. Macho Man, I mean, the thing with him, it's crazy. He had a heart attack while he was driving and plowed into a pole.
Yeah, that was here too. That was in Treasure Island.
Yeah, and the thing with him is what sucks is you hear, Leap and Landon Poffo, his brother, was saying that he was for the first time in a long time at peace,
Yeah,
and the poor guy, has a heart attack behind the wheel. You know,
yeah.
Barry Bonds,
I
yeah,
know, boy. I hope I Dwight Gooden. People who know me know Dwight Gooden was my favorite uh, um, player, and he's another one that I don't know. He didn't make a card signing recently because I always keep tabs on some of that stuff, and they had said that he no showed a few times, so they ended up
no.
canceling him off the list. And he just like sometimes I've met him at places and he seems okay, and then others he doesn't seem that good. And I think he's probably headed, unfortunately, I pray it doesn't because he was, like I said, he was my
Yeah.
favorite player growing up. I mean, I remember. I think I told the story. My stepdad at the time was a cop, and they beat Dwight Gooden up in Tampa one time, and I was like cussing. I was all mad, and they called them pigs. And man,
Oh wow.
I thought he was going to throw me through the wall, but I mean, he was my favorite player. Man, I thought the cops were manhandling him and abuse and this and that. But I mean, I was 12 years old or 13. I didn't know.
He should have tased you for that one,
I
man.
know, but I probably would have now. I
Right,
probably
exactly.
would have now, but yeah, I just
Man,
give a shout out to Mark because he's here, and I told everyone, Mark, I wanted to wear my Heat shirt because we won the game, but I didn't have a hat to go with it. I don't know why. It's a back order, but
oh,
I
you
know
know what?
Simon's fault. I
Hey,
know Simon.
speaking of wrestling, do you know that? And I know you're not following as much as you used to, but AEW, which is WWE's rival now, not quite on the same level, but they're good. So they have a Wednesday night live show, but now they're going old school TBS Saturdays, Saturday from 6 to 8
Oh,
on
really?
TBS live. It ain't even taped, so it's old school. Remember WCW Saturday
Yeah,
night?
yeah.
Yeah, so they're going, and it's starting the 17th in Chicago with
Is it
CM Punk.
good?
You know what it is? AEW's got so many people on the roster, and some of their storylines are good, and some you just shake your head at, like, what are you doing? I watch it religiously. Every
Yeah.
Wednesday night I'm there, and the new Saturday show starts in a few weeks. They have a Friday show too, so they're gonna have 3 shows a week. The Friday show's recorded, and that's usually one I kind of fast forward through a little bit. But Wednesday nights, I'm live in front of that TV watching Dynamite.
Well, the thing
MJF.
is, I mean, yeah, I mean, he's good, MJF.
Ooh,
He's good. And if you
he
like, for
is.
me, and we grew up in wrestling during that time where the storylines were really bigger than the matches, and then the promos. And I mean, obviously, if you guys, you followed me long enough, you can kind of tell that there's a lot of influence that comes in from wrestling when I do my hype videos, and I just loved wrestling when I was a kid and all the guys. And I used to tell the story. Jimmy and I used to do it all day long. We did a wrestling match at Manatee Civic Center in front of all the people outside of, as they were walking out. They thought it was a continuation of the show. So, I love old school wrestling, but it's harder now because the mic, that some of them just don't do the promos like the old days. And now MJF does for sure.
No, MJF is a legitimate heel. He is it doesn't matter if he's in public or where. He'll scream at like little kids at
Oh,
autograph signings. He doesn't break kayfabe, which is
yeah,
old school, and I love it. And
yeah,
he's great on the mic. He's the best in my opinion, the best on the mic since Ric Flair.
yeah.
It's
No, he's
natural.
good, and that's saying a lot. He's good.
Yes.
I just think back to the Iron Sheik one where it's supposed to be the Iran versus USA.
Yes.
And Iron Sheik and Hacksaw Jim Duggan are
Right.
getting pulled over for doing
On,
drugs. And
on the Jersey Turnpike. The Iron Sheik going to break his back in the ass and make him humble.
make him humble.
Well, what sucks with him again. Another situation where they did the bio on him, and during that period of time when he's going crazy and saying some really crazy things, he was far beyond when him and Hacksaw Duggan got pulled over. He was so high on drugs every day of the week on all sorts of stuff, and
Oh
and
yeah.
he just went off the deep end. You
I
know,
get, you didn't realize. I mean, looking back, like Roddy
yeah.
Piper, they said he was heavy on drugs. You
Coke.
never thought of it, but when you watched him, wrestle and you watch his promos and stuff, yeah, how could he not have been? I mean, he was so like hyper and just and crazy. But he was another good one. But Bud's going to the Jets game. I like it, man. All you guys going
No.
to the Jets game. That's going to be the kickoff for us, man.
Hey,
And yeah, but Brutus the Barber Beefcake, he did a He did a signing here, and he went from living in like nice place. I think he's living like in a trailer park or
Well,
something.
because he's not riding Hogan's coattails anymore.
No,
And
no.
Troy, you're right. That bidding war is going to be huge, and MJF's going to get paid. And I don't know if Tony Khan's going to lay out the money. I hope he does. I don't want MJF getting lost in the WWE universe. Is my thinking. Yeah, Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes, Ultra Cowboy. That was the good old days, man.
Oh, American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah, exactly. Remember? Boom.
I beat the world out of him. Didn't have to take my lid off.
Yeah. I'm just gonna take that goofy hat and take it off your head and throw it like that. I remember he took Ric Flair had like a like one of those Irish hats on. He picked it, threw it off. No, Ultra. You know what? Maybe Ultra's right about that one.
Which one? I didn't see it.
No,
I don't know.
he's
Junkyard Dog.
JYD.
Yeah, he was another good one, man. JYD. There's so many good ones, man.
No,
Oh, Ole Anderson. Yeah.
Ole. Yeah, Ole. Who was it? Ole got canned by WCW.
Did he really?
He was a booker and was writing script. And when Ric Flair jumped back over from WWF back to WCW, Ole Anderson was running his mouth and this and that. So Ric Flair, went to, I forget who was running the show at the time, said, "Look, it's either him or me," and they canned Ole Anderson.
You know what's crazy with that? I was just thinking with Anderson is like Ric Flair and Arn Anderson I don't think they're friends anymore.
You know what they did? They actually made up a few months ago. I don't think they're not as close as they were, but they made up because Double A lost a kid, and obviously they both have that in common now. Man, Kevin Nash lost a kid.
Yeah,
Rick. I mean, it's so sad, and but so they kind of made up.
Yeah, well, that's good.
I mean,
they seem like they were brothers, man. For with the Horsemen and all that.
They were. I remember meeting him at the airport a few times. Yeah. Every time
we got the picture. Yeah, used to hang out. Who's that? Your dad?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, man, it's a good time going down memory lane, man. It's a lot of we could do wrestling shows, man. We could go back to some old school wrestling stuff, man, and tell some stories, especially at some of the matches we went to, the hotels.
Oh God.
You had 10 guys, a bunch of friends that had no money that find a hotel room and just absolutely destroyed this poor hotel room. And it was a lot of fun, man.
So the best is, and we're not going to name names, obviously. And you know what, Ultra, I think that was the best iteration of the Horsemen, or maybe when Luger was in there was a good one too. But we're at this hotel. There's 10 of us. We went out in Orlando and got pretty banged up the night before Bash. So we were at the Bash at the Beach in '96 when Hogan turned into Hollywood Hogan, right?
Yeah.
So we were at this hotel and came back fairly inebriated, and like Mike said, he wrecked this hotel, right? And one of my buddies was suplexed through the wall. His foot went through the wall. So the next morning, one of our friends kind of hooked us up to get this room for cheap because we didn't have a lot of money and we had to spend it on booze, right? So, hey, so and so. Shouldn't we clean this place up? Beer cans and bottles and liquor all over the place. He's like, "No, man, F that. I'm ready for breakfast. Let's go eat." Okay. So the next day, 2 days later, he's at work and he gets a fax. Now think about it. We're very disappointed that one of our employees would leave a room in such a disgusting manner after we gave you, money off and all this stuff. So we've all eventually paid up.
It was like $50 each, which back then was a lot. I mean, that's a lot of money. I'm not, but a bunch of kids are. The hat's supposed to arrive tomorrow. My man Mark came through, pulled some strings. I'm going to have it just in time right before game 3 on Wednesday night. So that's going to be awesome. So as long as Miami handles that business, I might be supporting that hat on in the Heat shirt on Thursday's show.
You should, man. You got to represent.
No, I know. I know, man. It's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. But hey, we could talk all night, but we started a little late. and I apologize. Technical difficulties, like I said, sometimes things happen, man. We're just doing it, but we're having a good time. Is there anything else I missed, Jimmy, before we bounce out of here?
No, I think that's it. When Uncle Cheech comes on next, I got to talk to him about the Churchill Downs getting shut down. But that's for when Uncle Cheech is
Yeah,
on.
no, we'll
Right.
get Uncle Cheech. He's right now. He's in hiatus. He's taking a little break. He's getting mentally get his focus back. I talked to him yesterday. He's still not all with it. He's recovering from Vegas. He's got a lot of stuff on his mind. So he will definitely be back. There's no doubt about it. So, but more importantly, we're going to be back next week. But I'll be hanging out. We're going to be getting this thing going on Thursday. Usual show, talking Cowboys. Kelly, our boy's he's on vacation. He might pop in. We don't want to spoil any surprises, but I got some special guests that'll be coming in. We're going to have a good time. So you guys make sure you tune in on Thursday, and it'll be a lot of Cowboys talk. We didn't even get to the NFL, Jimmy. We were talking so much. I put a couple notes down about the Bills' new stadium. Do you want to comment on that before we bounce?
Oh, like I said, they're taking my taxpayer money, putting the stadium out in the cow pastures next to in Orchard Park, in the middle of nowhere. And they took money. Let's be frank here. They took money, reallocated money from like kids' social services for kids, reallocated it for this stadium, right? Like $750 million going toward the stadium. And instead of putting it in downtown Buffalo, which is a dump, right? But they're trying to revitalize it, right? So you put the stadium near downtown so you get the people going to the bars and hitting the bars up and all that. No, they put it out in Orchard Park. And again, I know it's Orchard Park and I've tailgated there and it's a fun time, but there's nothing around there. There's no bars around there. You're not supporting any local economy in Orchard Park. You're tailgating out in the the cow pastures, and that's it. So they should have put it in Buffalo. So no, I'm pissed off about that. That's stupid.
Well, it's your $1.54 billion stadium. So
yeah,
luck.
not mine.
Oh, you paid for it. It's part of your stadium. So.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Yeah, I agree with that. I should get money off on the beer if I end up going there. Going to see a game.
No, but we'll catch up on that. We'll have some stuff on Thursday. Maybe your boy make appearance on Sunday. My little early morning talk, depending on if I got any beach plans or anything going on with the family. But if not, we'll be checking out. So stay tuned. We appreciate all the support. Make sure again, if you guys are here or listening, like, subscribe, share, spread the word, share it on social media. You can find us everywhere. We're on Facebook. We got the Cowboys Cave Facebook page. We obviously got Twitter. We got all our Twitter handles. You should know all of us. If you're not following Jimmy, I don't know what the hell's the matter with you. Make sure you guys give him a follow. Please. And on all other social media platforms. Cameo, your boy did a cameo. You missed it. It was a great cameo. I'm not going to get into it again, but it was so good. They gave me the tip was bigger than the cameo. They appreciate your boy putting in the work. So make sure you guys continue. Appreciate all the support on the channel, man.
Hey, Troy, and real quickly, I see you talking about me coming on Thursday nights. The thing is, that's much more of a Cowboy-centric show, and it's kind of Mike and Kelly Kay and I are talking about stuff that kind of way beyond my pay grade at that point.
We don't want Jimmy messing with the guy, but he can always come in. Like I said, we're going to do a night where we're going to get Jimmy, we're going to get Kelly, we're going to all get together and have a lot of fun and just shoot the shit. And we also have a fantasy football show that's going to be coming on. It's not my show. It's going to be a couple buddies, but we're going to have some. We'll be popping in every now and then and have some fun with that. So we're going to have a good time on this channel. So make sure you guys continue to support it. We appreciate it. Have a great week, and hopefully I'll see you Thursday before the weekend. You guys take care. I'll see you. Let's find the outro. I got to get new ones. Peace out.
The Eagles get ready, because you might not like it, but you will learn to love it, because we are the best thing going today. Now can you